Hey, okay, what's up? This is your boy Asiago on the new 3 a.m. Thoughts. Now, you may be asking, why did I change the name? Well, it was let's see. Well, I kind of let's see. Well, I kind of came up with like the name just out of random, and then my friend Caleb decided, hey, let's actually rename it, to that because it sounds better than Zix. So I agreed, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's freaking do it. So the new logo was made by Caleb himself, and well, there we go. It's kind of like a collaboration channel at this point. But anyways, I'm still using it for the original purpose of just channeling my thoughts into something. Uh, and the thing is, it says 3 a.m. thoughts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm recording this at 3 a.m. or that I'm going to be posting it at 3 a.m. It's just generalizing the fact that really when I record these, it's really late at night. And why so late at night, you ask? Well, it's because I work Cap 2 at Walmart, and we come in around 2 a.m. and we're supposed to leave at 11. Shoot, most of the time we don't, because we got to stay later. Like today, I didn't leave till 12:45 ish. Yeah, 12:45, and when I got home, I just did what you usually do. When you get off work, I just kind of chilled for a while, and then I thought, I want to get recording. So here I am now. And speaking of work, so if you hear me eating every now and again, it's because I'm eating ice cream. Because today was a long day at work, and I'm broke until next Thursday when I get paid. So usually what I like to do when it's just a long day at work is I like they go to the McDonald's in the front of the store, and I like to get a chocolate shake for lunch. I don't. It's not the only thing I eat for lunch, but I eat it with my lunch. It's like, I gotta tell you, man, I love chocolate shakes. They're so good. I just love chocolate, period. And just give me a chocolate shake, I'm gonna go nuts for it. So, anyways, get a chocolate shake, and I don't know, it's not necessarily like an energy drink to me, but man, I freaking love it. Like, even if things go entirely bad before and after lunch, that chocolate shake is one of the things that keeps me afloat. My God, like the serotonin levels that I get from that thing, from that stuff. God, it's so good, and it's so nice. But unfortunately, I'm broke as a joke, so I didn't get to do my thing at McDonald's. So I had to freaking wait till I clocked out, drove all the way back home, hoping that freaking no police would pull me over because I'm breaking the damn curfew here. And I busted out the freaking tube of ice cream, and here I am, enjoying away at my homemade chocolate shake. I hadn't really made the shake. As a matter of fact, I'm just eating it straight out of the carton. Now, before you call me gross, I bought the carton myself, and I'm the only one eating out of it. Okay, I'm basically treating it as just a giant bowl. A giant bowl that I put back in the freezer every so often, because I'm not gonna down an entire freaking gallon of chocolate ice cream by myself in one freaking night. I will chug it down by myself, but I won't chug it down on one night. So anyways, more work stuff. Okay, so before I get into the main situation, let me give you some background. In my position, Cap 2, we are the unloaders. We unload the trucks, we stock the freight, and like with any position at any workplace, we have a manager. But right under our manager, we have two supervisors. One supervisor for the first half of the week, and another supervisor for the later half of the week. And since the time I started working here, which would be from as far back as like 2017, from the time I started working there, I've seen many supervisors come and go. Let's see. Let me come real quick. There was Paco, there was Matthew, there was Desmond, there was Ricky, there was Brandon, there was Daniel, there was Nate. Shoot, I think what was that like? That's at least 8 supervisors that I've seen. Change of. That's the amount of supervisors I've seen. Come in and come over us. Since the time I've started working here in the unloading business, and the thing is that I mean, I see. Like, I don't know about y'all, out there in podcast world. I don't know if it's like normal for you guys to have like often changes in management and supervisors. Well, I mean, actually, when it comes to the changing of managers, it's pretty normal over here. Like I can't tell you the amount of managers I've seen come and go, freaking like the past 3 years that I've worked there. God, like the management team we currently have now is almost entirely different than the one we had 3 years ago. Like, my goodness, we even changed the store manager recently. Like, damn. Like, but anyways, back to the actual supervisors. I've seen many supervisors come and go from the time I work here, and God, like, I mean, at least the first few supervisors that were over us when I started working, or from the time I started working. At least they held their ground, for a good long while before leaving or stepping down. But recently, we've been having supervisors that be freaking. I'm noticing I'm saying and like a lot. I don't like that. I'm gonna try to stop doing that, or at least weave off of doing that. Anyways, back on topic. We have like our more recent supervisors have been coming and going, is like more often than the freaking associates that we have. Like, golly, like literally, God. Okay, so here's the only problem I have when a supervisor steps down or leaves. Unless we got like a backup guy, that comes and take their spot. We really only have one supervisor for just one half of the week, and then the other half of the week is just the Wild West. Like, let's see. Let me think here. Around the time this problem started actually happening is when our current supervisors were we had this old guy named Desmond, and we had this younger guy named Nate. Okay, so they were doing their thing. Desmond had the later half of the week. Nate had the beginning half of the week. Plain and simple. They were doing their own thing. Supervising us. Doing what supervisors do. Working the grind. Yada yada yada. Okay, so where does the problem stand? Well, let's see. I think Nate was he was a supervisor for at least a good year and a half before stepping down because he just got tired of the job. So when he stepped down, one of my coworkers, he was just a regular sales floor associate at the time, Brandon. He took a spot, and so far things things were Gucci. So we had Desmond and we had Brandon. And Brandon was working things just fine, like pretty much the way Nate, took care of things, except same crap, different person. Anyways, then freaking Desmond, he's been like the supervisor, like the longest, or at least the longest running supervisor I've seen from the time I started working there, and I believe, from what people told me, I think he was supervisor for maybe like 4 years, until he finally left. Because here's the thing, let's see, Desmond had family problems. Shoot, I never really understood why. I'm assuming there was some kind of a problem going on or whatever. But he was over here in Texas, working, living, doing the whatnot. His wife, his kids, all lived on the other side of the country in Florida. So I'm like, okay, why is there this weird arrangement? This doesn't make sense. Why are you here when they're over there? Now, I never really bothered to ask because I don't know if I didn't want to accidentally stumble upon sensitive subject or whatever. So I kind of just left it be. All the information that I learned from his situation, I learned from other people he's talked to about it. And the thing about me is, like, unless you tell me, a sensitive subject of yours, I'm not really gonna ask unless I'm super close to you, or unless you tell me about your situation. I'm not gonna ask, and I'm not gonna, want intel, of certain sensitive subjects that you might have. I just out of plain respect, and plus, like there are plenty of times where, where I would ask someone, hey, what's wrong? Why is things this way with you? And they would, get all mad, and they would get all pissed and be like, oh, why the hell are you being so nagging? Oh, why are you being so nosy? Ugh. And I got tired of that, so I decided, hey, you know what? You want to tell me about your life? You tell me yourself. I ain't gonna be involved in your business anymore unless you make me involved, or unless you want to tell me about it. Whatever. I ain't dealing with you like that no more. So, anyways, Desmond, things finally went well. Actually, not earlier this year, late 2019, actually. Late 2019, he and his wife, something happened, something positive, in fact. A positive thing happened to where he decided to move all the way to Florida, to be back with his wife, which is it's always a good thing. It's always a good thing when couples, they come back together, they reunite, for the greater good. Not to reunite just to, for the looks of it, for the aesthetic, or just to freaking, prove a point to someone. But it's always good whenever a man and a woman who are separated have have mutual feelings for each other again, and they have a mutual agreement to go back with each other. Like, I like that. Recovery. I like it. But it was also kind of sad at the same time because Desmond was actually one of my favorite supervisors. Now, he wasn't the best. I'm going to admit that. He wasn't the best, but he was one of my favorites. And plus, seeing him, work here for so long, and he's the only actual supervisor that's, actually left. Like, not just, transferred into another department, or transferred to being, or got promoted to being a manager, or got demoted back to a regular associate, but this guy actually left. God, I don't know, it was kind of like, I had this friend for 3 years, and this good friend for 3 years, and this good friend, he's moving away, going to another school, living in another house, living in another state. And and it's funny because I was friends with the guy, but really just like work friends. We never talked or hung out whatever outside of work. So I never had any of his contact information. So if I did, I would be calling him, every now and again, saying, hey, what's up? How are things going at your other store? How are things going with the wife and kids? But anyways, he left, and here's the problem. Remember when I said that he wasn't exactly the best supervisor? Well, that opinion, that thought, that fact was apparent with pretty much everybody else that I worked with. And nobody loved working on Desmond's days. Not just because, they didn't like the way he ran things, or they didn't like, his lack of logic, most of the time. It's not just because of that. It's because also in his days, the later half of the week is when all the bad days happen. Whoever has Brandon or Nate, they had the first half of the week. Monday would be the bad day. But when Desmond's half of the week, you had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All straight bad days. Why are they bad days? Well, that's because usually those are the big 2-truck days. The big 2-truck days, of which it would take us freaking hours to complete. I'm talking, we won't freaking leave until 2, 3 a.m. And get this, we come in at 2 p.m. So, freaking, I'm noticing I'm saying freaking a lot. I'm going to try to stop that too. Anyways, back to the topic. Yeah, get this. We come in at 2 p.m. and we are spending 12 hours, not including lunch, working to get to complete, or sometimes not barely complete, or half complete. These large 2 trucks that come in. And this is 4 days straight. This is his entire work week. And nobody wanted to work in his days. This is a bad combination of just him not being the best supervisor and him not having the greatest days. God, like, barely anybody would work his days. Everybody would call out. Nobody would want to work his days. So like in the later half of the week, we would only have like maybe 9 out of the freaking 18 scheduled people that were supposed to show up. I mean, God, my goodness, why? I mean, I get why, but why? Oh God. It was just a bad combination. And the funny thing is, although like a lot of people who have, who are under Desmond or who are around, for Desmond, like a lot of those people have came, gone. One of them came back. But despite, so many leaving, there's still quite a few people who are around for the Desmond days, and they still have their schedule, They still have their schedule set up to where they wouldn't work the later half of the week because of Desmond. But Desmond's been gone for I think almost half a year now, and their schedules are still like the way they are. So that means even when we have the more recent supervisors come in, they're still bad days. Although like the next 2 supervisors that came in line after Desmond they were pretty good. They still got the short end of the stick because they had the bad days and they had the days that people purposely scheduled to not work. And it's kind of sad too. So after Desmond left, it took us quite a while, but we had this guy named Ricky. Now this guy named Ricky, he was a pretty cool dude. He was actually the husband of this lady who worked in the meat department. So he has some kind of a connection here. So he was in the Marines. He had absolutely no retail experience to speak of. But the reason why our store manager at the time hired him was because he was talking about how he stocked bombs, back in the freaking Marines, and that reason alone made our freaking manager Ted. All right, you're hired. You used to stock. You said the magic word. You said stock. That means you're hired. Welcome to Cap 2, idiot. My God. But I mean, despite being a guy with no retail experience to speak of, he still ran things pretty good. Now he wasn't he wasn't how I was expecting him to be. I thought. When I heard that this guy was coming from the Marines, I was thinking, oh God, man, he's gonna be like a drill sergeant. He'd be like, all right, soldiers, get up! I need you to do 12 push-ups before you unload the truck. Oh, why isn't this aisle done yet? You had 12 minutes to finish this aisle full of 12 pallets. Oh my Lord! Oh my Lord! You're sick. You're sick. You're a little bit scum there. That's my weird impression of a drill sergeant. Horrible it might be, but whatever. Anyways, he was actually pretty chill, pretty nice. He worked with us. It was like he was one of us. But except he had the higher pay raise and he had more responsibilities, and he worked closer with the manager. And and about I think after maybe a month and a half of him working with us, actually not a month and a half, I think it was at least, I want to say it was at least a good 2 months, but okay, I'm really trying to think here. It was early 2017. I mean, not 2017, 2019. Let's see, because the time between Desmond and Ricky, it was like a weird It was a weird time where we only had one supervisor and so many things were going on at the time. I know it was after Black Friday for sure. But there was this one period of time. Let's see. I think Ricky got hired in January of this year. Yeah, I want to say he got hired in January of this year, and then he left, like literally. What month is this? March. No, okay, no. Okay, I'm wrong. So he got hired in the middle of December. Yeah, in the middle of December, 2019, and then he left, freaking the middle of January. So really, like a month. He was over us for a month, and then the reason why he left was because he had a better job, that help him with his school, and and overall just help him and his family. Which I respect that. The guy has plans. The guy has goals. But still, like, come on now, like we were already shorthanded. We finally got a freaking little gust of wind of grace, and then we lose him. Like, huh? I mean, good lord. Like, I mean, shoot. If you offered me a better job, shoot, I would go ahead and take it. But man, like we were still in the freaking dust. We just got out of the Dust Bowl, and now we're back into the Dust Bowl. And so they get so after that, and the process, the gap between Ricky and our next supervisor, Daniel. It was definitely a shorter time span, but I think that was because of the fact that corporate was coming by and they needed to look good for corporate. So, so they did all the what's that word? Deceiving little tricks. Like, we hadn't had an employee of the month, the hang on our wall for about like a year and a half, but then they thought, hey, we still have these old photos. Go ahead and put them up and say, oh, they're the employee of the month for for this month or whatever. And then they get all the store looking clean for a week, and then last but not least, they needed to have us a freaking second supervisor because we were still only having one, and with us only having one, that would look bad for the store. So they were like, okay, we need to find someone, but we can't hire anyone because we're in a hiring freeze. Damn, what do we do? Hey, there's that guy. He works at Cap 2. He passed the supervisor test. Yes, hire him. Hooray! We can look good for corporate now. And there you have it. We had Daniel for about a good month and a half. Like, he literally just quit today. Like, over the phone, he contacted our current manager that he just officially quit today. And when I heard that, I was like, good lord, not again. I mean, at least we had a longer period of grace this time. But man, God, we're in another hole. We're in another gap. Now, so concerning supervisors, the whole spiel is that you're basically like a second in command leader, over a position over the truck unloaders, and you work closely with the manager, and you got to work with, or you have to deal with the other managers. You got to keep things running smoothly. You got to supervise. You got to do your part. Plus, whatever they tell you, like, hey, they need an extra person on the line. Hey, you need to go and do this. You need to go and do that. Pretty much, just, dog work. The stuff that we usually do. Us, us low, no. What would you call us? Just commonplace employees. Yeah, you're pretty much a commonplace employee, except, he's given more responsibilities and he's given a higher pay raise. Shoot, I mean, for $18 an hour, I would not complain about doing pretty much the same stuff that we do, plus an extra few responsibilities. Anyways, so the whole supervisors thing, everybody, including all the managers that we've had for the past, I want to say 3-4 managers, they all agree that they want me, or they think I should be next in line or whatever, and they've been saying this ever since Desmond left. And I really don't like blowing my own, tooting my own horn, because I hate the sense of pride or whatever. Like, I hate lifting myself up like that. But I mean, when the people say, They think I'm a good worker and stuff. And I will say so myself. It's really because of my work ethic that I always stay late and I always do the things I do. It's not so much that I'm trying to impress anyone. It's because, well, that's the way I was raised. Hey, you start some, you gotta finish it. I'm not doing it for the. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, I am doing it for the money, but I'm not doing it for the fame, though. I'm not doing it so people can like me. I'm not doing it so people can dislike me. I'm just doing it because it's my job. It's what I'm told to do. That's what I have to do, and they pay me to do it. But people, they see the way I work. They see how hard I work. They see how late I stay. They see how much I do. They see how much I go above and beyond my own stuff. And everybody agrees that they want me to be the next supervisor, and I have no problem with that because thinking about it, I can definitely do it. If Desmond can do it as lazy and slow as he was, I can do it. Shoot, like, come on now. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm at least saying that it's doable, or at least, to my standards. It's got to be somewhat doable, right? Right? Shoot. Oh, that tastes like chocolate. Anyways, so the reason why the reason why I never actually got promoted to the supervisor position, even after Desmond left, it was because when I took the supervisor exam, both times, I ended up with non-competitive. In other words, failure. Really looking back on the questions that the exam gave me, and the scenarios it gave me, and all the little bits and pieces that it gave me. I'm here wondering. I'm literally answering the questions the exact way they would do it by the book, how they do in real situations, and I'm also responding to these questions, with real life experience. Like, this is how we do this, so that's the answer I'm gonna choose. Then if you want to look good for the story, you're gonna pick this answer. From both points of view, that's how I answer the questions. And I still don't understand why it says I failed. My only theory is that it's probably because of my lack of experience. Because remember, Walmart is still my first job. Like, I've been working this first job since 2017. Like, from then, I hadn't had any kind of manager position. I never had any kind of supervisor position. I never had any higher up position at all to speak of. Like, the closest I have to anything of those was from before I started working, back when I was on student council, back whenever I reached first degree black belt in my karate class, back whenever I was a leader in my youth group at church, back whenever I was just like a freaking avid student back in high school. Like, shoot, like, so it's not like I hadn't had any experience of being a leader. It's just that, like, in the work world, I've never had that. Especially here with my first job, and plus, I don't even have 5 years of work period under my belt. And I remember the two other guys. One of them was Daniel. The two other guys that were taking the exam at the time I was taking them. Let's see. I know this one guy. Let's see. And this one guy. I'm not saying his name just in case if he ends up listening to this podcast. And he's a good friend of mine, so I mean, no shame. I mean, no dirt on him or anything like that. Like, it's all good in the hood. But man, this dude, like, this dude just answered all the questions exactly, by the book as possible. And I'll admit that's how I tried doing it too. But somehow, he got competitive, and I believe not just because he kind of just goofed off, because he kind of freaking for lack of better terms or better words, cheated on the test. But also because he's been there longer. He's had more experience, and let's see, shoot, like whether or not he had any kind of leadership experience, shoot, he has more store experience. Period. And with his 5 year or 4 or 5 years compared to my freaking 3 or 4 years, it's a no brainer what the computer would choose. Because it's an automated test. It's going to choose what's better out of the two just by, the standards it was given. And then you have Daniel here, which I'm pretty sure he gave more or less the same answers. And I never really bothered to really ask him about his past jobs, really, because it never came up in conversation. And it's kind of weird. You just randomly ask someone, hey, were you a supervisor before? Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, just knowing the guy, 28 years old, he has to support a family. I'm pretty sure that he's had a couple of other jobs or two. Yeah, probably had another job or two in the past, and probably at least one of them of which he was granted a higher position. And so with that, with that in mind, and plus, with more years of him actually working under his belt. Definitely, I would be just in the dust. Now, again, I'm just speaking out of my theorization. I am not saying that this is all gospel, this is all truth, or this is how it actually is. I'm just saying, I'm really saying these things out of how I think, things are possibly going down, or how they went down, whatever. I cannot talk tonight. Also, too, I don't have my water bottle. I have my ice cream, but I don't have my water bottle. There's one. It's half empty, but anyways. So, took the exam, failed it twice, and I truly do believe it's because, first of all, my lack of experience. Second of all, I don't have the amount of years under my belt as my competitors. And so even up to now, the last time I took the supervisor exam wasn't that long ago, because again, the little gap between Ricky and Daniel, that wasn't too long ago, and that's whenever I took the test again. And now that I can, and now that I've already taken that test already, I can't retest for another 3 months. I'm over here in a hole. Well, I mean, not really, but I kind of am in a hole. Because I really do want to be supervisor. I really do want to take on the torch. I want to lead my team. I really do want the experience as well. Not just the freaking $18 an hour, but I want the experience. Because the experience of being a leader, I don't care what field you're going to. I don't care what you do in life. The experience of leadership helps you, whether you suck at it or whether you're good at it. That experience alone will help you because if you at least been in a leader's shoes, at least you've seen how things go down. You at least apply what you learn in that position, to other aspects of your life and other aspects of your other jobs, your other duties, yada yada yada. And I do want this. Also, I really do want this experience because I'm over here, 21 years old. Only did 1 year of college, and all my other peers that graduated in the same year as me, 2017, they're already having their associate's degrees. They're already out there, working the jobs that they went to school for and all that. They're already out here, moving up, and I was never really the kind, to kind of get, what's that term? Keeping up with the Joneses. I was never that kind of guy to do that. But, I mean, seeing how, this is real life, and this is not about, having the latest fashion trends or whatever. This is about actually adulting. I feel like, that's not something I really want to be in the dust about. I really want to try, to grow up not too fast, but I really want to try to, really grow up. And I also, too, think that, a position of leadership would definitely help me adult better because now I would really get a taste of how things actually run, in the real world here. I mean, albeit in the retail world, but also, I can translate a lot of, a lot of the stuff that I learned here into, other aspects of my life. Especially within the context of adulting. So I'm over here, hoping that, because our current manager, she's pretty cool. She sees how hard I work. And she's able to do a couple of things that like other managers don't really do. And I'm thinking, well, and I'm planning on slipping this idea to her, but like, hey, we need another supervisor. I hadn't passed my exam, but you see the way I work. You see that I'm competent enough to take on this challenge. The only thing is that I can't officially take it on. But what if you raised my pay? What if you gave me, the walkie-talkie? And what if you changed my schedule a bit and just let me become unofficially a supervisor? I mean, sure, yeah, I wouldn't be recognized as one, but at least I'll be receiving the pay and the responsibilities of one. I mean, shoot, like, the store makes up freaking departments. They make up positions all the time. Like, I don't know if any of y'all are even familiar with the term Cap 2. I mean, even though I've told you on this podcast, like, many other times before. But I'm pretty sure that none of y'all would know that there supposedly was such thing as a fresh Cap 2. Now, first of all, like, fresh is fresh. Why would there be any other sub-departments within fresh? But then they completely make up this position called Fresh Cap 2. And I think if you look it up right now, I mean, you probably might actually find a few legitimate results. But I think for the most part, at least at our store, because of the way things run, that, there is really no such thing, no such thing as Fresh Cap 2. And freaking, like, and they had like at least half of our guys at one point, under the Fresh Cap 2 banner, and they were working with us the whole time. Like, I don't know if they were actually hired for Fresh Cap 2 and they just ended up working with us, or they just made up a position for some whatever reason, probably the police corporate, and they're like, all right, we made up the position, we put people in there. No, really make them work where they're supposed to work. Man, like, God, I mean, I tell you. But whatever, like, however this goes down, like I told myself when they hired Ricky, or when they hired Daniel, and then what I'm gonna tell myself whenever they hire the next guy, because he's probably not gonna be me. Okay, so, hey, I didn't get the position. That don't mean I'm gonna freaking start slacking up. That don't mean I'm gonna freaking start working less or not working as hard. Hell, I'm gonna continue working my butt off. I'm gonna continue being the best worker I can be. Not so much for the sake of my fellow coworkers. Not so much of the sake of the store itself. Not just for the sake of my own passion. To help out the store. It's more so for the sake that, as a man, as a future leader or someone who wants to become a leader, I got to do what I got to do. God put me here, for a reason. And so I'm going to make sure that I'm damn well good at what I'm doing. Because even the Bible says, work as if you're working for God. In other words, put your best into everything you do. Even if you're in a situation like me where, hey, you didn't get the position you wanted. Even though, you have all these people saying, oh, well, it should have been you. And you have all these thoughts saying, oh, man, yeah, like, why didn't they pick me? Like, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, crap, I'm tooting my own damn horn again. Oh, God. Like, why am I not in this position? Shoot, you might be in that situation. But still, despite that, do the best you can where you're at right now. I mean, shoot, maybe I'll never get the supervisor position here. Maybe not. But still, maybe in the future, when at another job, or even at the job I really want to, get to, maybe then I'll become a leader. And because of the many years that I spent, working my butt off, doing the best that I can do with everything that I got, no matter the situation, that even if nobody notices, God still notices. You know, in that case, and also I know I have a clear conscience that I did the best I can. I did my very best. Now, I may not be the best, but at least I did my best. And that's what's important. That is what's truly important. Here we go at 40 minutes and 25 seconds. God, I feel like I need a burp, but I can't burp. So, there is my little soapbox, or work soapbox for today. So I'm back here at home, still enjoying some chocolate ice cream. I mean, albeit melted, but hey, that's kind of how how I like it. You know, because then it really starts feeling like a milkshake. Now, when it starts getting warmer, because it's been out here for so long, okay, yeah, maybe that's whenever it's time to put it back in the fridge. Or the freezer, I mean. So, let's see. What do I want to talk about? Okay, this is what I want to talk about. This new poster I got in the mail. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I was telling you how I got this My Hero Academia Suyu Asui ginormous scroll that I put on my wall. Alright, so, and it's not the only scroll that I've recently ordered. I recently ordered, again, like 4 other scrolls, and I just got one of them today. It's the Doki Literature Club scroll. Now, okay, so if you don't know what Doki Literature Club is, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, you freaking normie. Third of all, it is one of my favorite games of all time. Not just because of the anime aesthetic, not just because it has 4 very, very freaking cute anime girls, but and it's not just because of the fact that it's all cutesy and stuff. It's also because it's a psychological horror. You know, it starts off, you know, trying to look itself like a dating simulator, but it takes a dark turn. I don't want to freaking spoil anything more than that, but I mean, it takes a dark turn at a certain point. And if you ever want to play the game, it's called Doki Literature Club. Don't type it in on Google, because then you're gonna get a lot of spoilers, like from the very memes that pop up. So, if you got Steam, look it up right now. You know, it works on Apple, Windows, whatever got you. It works on the platform. You download it from Steam. You begin to play the game, and let's say you don't want to play the game, because again, like how I described it, it starts off kind of like a dating simulator, and it plays like that. And it plays like one throughout the entire game. You know, it's I'm running out of breath here. So it's not really the kind of game where you move around. It's more like a point and click game. You know, you're really, really like the most action that you do is that, at certain parts, you got to create poems, and you select words, for a poem, and that's it. That's the most action, or gameplay action that you actually get out of the game. The rest of the time, it's really like an interactive novel. You see one of the girls on screen, and then, you read the text at the bottom. And that's about it. That's all fine and dandy. Shoot. I gotta take a breather here. I'm just talking and talking and talking, man. I'm not, shoot. Anyways, it's one of those games. So if you're not really into games where, where you're really just reading most of the time, I suggest looking up the Game Grumps gameplay of the game. It's hilarious. They get through the entire game, and they really make it fun. I'm pretty sure, if you watch the Markiplier review or whatever, or gameplay or whatever, from my experience, the Game Grumps really add their own spice. They really make the game fun for anybody watching the gameplay. And pretty much, even if you watch the gameplay, you're pretty much also playing it, because again, most of the time you're reading, and whenever they play, they do these freaking funny voices as they're reading it. So you don't even have to read whenever they do the gameplay. So I got a scroll. It's not an official scroll of an artwork. of an artwork. It's not an official Doki artwork scroll, but it is a scroll of some fan art that exists on the internet, and it's not lewd or anything, but shoot, it's pretty damn cute. It's got all the 4 girls on it, and It's in portrait, not landscape. I would get landscape if I had room. Well, I do have room on my ceiling. I might get another one next paycheck. But I'm really glad I got this one now. And when I got it this morning, I wasn't really thinking nothing of it. I was like, okay, cool. I woke up to having this in my my room. So all right, I'll figure out where I want to put it. After work. But then my mom comes into my room because first of all, she likes to open my mail, which I really find really annoying. But anyways, she opened up my mail. She saw that I got the poster. She got all excited and she was like, "Where are you gonna put it?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm gonna find out after I get out of work." And then she started suggesting all these ideas. I'm like, okay, let's see. I gotta get ready for work, but okay, let's do this instead. Let's see. So right next to this giant Suyu poster, Suyu scroll that I have, I got these. I got 7 amiibos. Yeah, freaking, I'm one of those people. I collect amiibos, but I don't collect them for the sake of collecting them. Like, I only collect the ones that I like. Kind of like with Pops, I only collect the ones that look cool to me. Let's see, I got Solid Snake, Simon and Richter Belmont. I got Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening Link. The one that's all shiny, plasticky. I got Dark Samus. I got Chrom, and I got Ivysaur. None of them are necessarily my favorite characters in whatever franchise they're in, or in Super Smash Brothers. But let's see. But for the most part, the Smash amiibos that I got, I like playing as them, and plus I think their amiibos look pretty damn cool. So again, that's why I collect them. But and then also too, I'm thinking, well, if I keep them for for a good amount of while, I could sell them. Actually, as a matter of fact, while we're still on the subtopic of amiibos here, I'm really excited for the Banjo-Kazooie amiibo when that finally comes out. Because they're a downloadable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, actually, and with all the other DLC characters, they're going to be getting their own amiibos too. Eventually at some point, but it's confirmed that they're coming. And God, let me tell you, Banjo-Kazooie is my most top favorite game of all time. And first of all, the very fact that they're in Smash made my heart skip a beat. It made my heart jump. Like, I watched that reveal trailer and I was like, oh my God, oh my freaking God. I was in tears. I never get in tears for anything, but I got in tears for this because I just couldn't believe it. They actually done it. They actually did it. They put my boy Banjo in Smash. Like, I got so excited when I saw that. I'm like, finally, the bear and bird are getting represented in one of my favorite game franchises. And with that means they're getting their own amiibo. Now, I'm making sure that when those amiibo come out, I'm getting 3 of them. Well, yeah, one to display in my wall, in its box, like the other ones. One to take out of the box and play with, because, shoot, that's one amiibo that I definitely would, want to play with. And another box to store away and then sell it like in 20 years, because I already know that's going to be a real collector's piece. First of all, you have a Microsoft game character, in amiibo form. When is that ever going to happen again? Tell me. When is that ever going to happen again? And unless they make a freaking Banjo game for both Xbox and Switch, when is that ever going to come in use other than Smash? When would something like that, something so historical in gaming history, when would something like that happen again? And eventually, again, within 20 years, freaking, because already Banjo-Kazooie merch, it's like, some of the more rare stuff is really expensive. So imagine how much a freaking amiibo, for the first time, one of the first times freaking Nintendo and Microsoft collaborated, and the real centerpiece of that collaboration in freaking metaphysical form, in a tangible form. Imagine how much that would be in 20 years, the freaking gamers. But anyways, off the topic of amiibos, back to the topic of this scroll that I have. So I got this good amount of empty space above the Suya poster, and I purposely did that because I thought, hey, I might be able to put some up there. And then when my mom gave me the idea, I could probably move them there. I'm like, well, hell yeah, I don't see why not. Because as they come out, or as I see them in stores or whatever, I do plan on collecting more of them. So just having that big empty space there, on the wall above the scroll, that's perfect. That's absolutely perfect, for what I want to do. And it leaves up the space that they're currently taking up, for me to put my Doki Doki scroll in there. And it's gonna be all Gucci because when you when you open the door, at least the poster won't be covered. Now the amiibos will, but then it's also made up for the fact that you'll still be able to see some of them, over the door, even when the door is open. And too, I really do like any idea of putting a new poster on the wall that doesn't involve too much moving of other things. God, I can already hear myself running out of voice here. Because again, it's probably not gonna be for a little while, but I'm not too used to talking for an hour straight at a time. Right here, we're at 51 minutes and 28 seconds. And and I've been doing this whole podcast thing for about, this is my 5th day now. Yeah, this is my 5th day. It's going to take me a while before my voice gets used to it, and then I'm able to have my full voice throughout the entire podcast. God, I love water. It is unironically my favorite drink. I love root beer. I love chocolate shakes. I love energy drinks. I love freaking juice. But for some weird reason, water, of all things, water is my favorite drink. Again, I drink all this other stuff. I like even my favorite energy drink, freaking jalapeno and strawberry rain. That's my favorite energy drink, right next to freaking champagne flavored Bang. Those are really unique flavors, and I love them to death. Or pina colada. I'll be an alcoholic. Pina colada. I really do love that. But for some weird, odd reason, water is my favorite drink. I don't know why. I really don't know why. That's just how it would be. So, let's see. Let's see. So, actually, it's funny because I feel like I'm running out of steam here, and we still have a good 7 minutes left of the podcast here. I don't want to just end it here, and I kind of don't want to be just dead silent or just dead out of ideas. So over here, you probably heard a bag earlier, and that's this bag behind me here. Caleb, about a couple months ago, he left this cotton candy maker, in my room. And we made some cotton candy out of it, and it works really well, and it's cool. You can make cotton candy out of anything. Problem is that I don't really use it very often. So it just sits there. Actually, it doesn't really sit in my room. It sits in the upstairs living room next to my room. And also, I kind of neglected it for a while because, I got work, I hang out with my friends. Or at least I did whenever this freaking coronavirus wasn't a damn scare. And I'm also doing my own thing. Playing games, watching anime, making podcasts. So I never really took the time to clean it. So it's here in a plastic bag. It was sitting in the living room for God knows how long. And my mom finally got mad because she actually started cleaning the upstairs living room. And she saw that, that thing was still there, uncleaned. And she told me, if I was going to put that anywhere that's not in my room, I'm going to have to clean it or else we're going to get roaches and stuff. I'm like, fine. After I record this podcast, I'm going to go ahead and clean it. But it's a very interesting little thing. You add a powdered sugar. And then you add little
bits of candy into it, and then mix it into cotton candy. And I saw the whole, like, when you watch the process with your own eyes, it's pretty damn radical, because the candy we would use to make cotton candy would be lollipops, because I have this bowl of lollipops right next to my TV in my room, and its sole purpose there is just so, you know, that when I'm watching anime, I got a little anime snack. But funny thing is that, you know, it's no longer my only anime snack. You know, I'm also bringing full-fledged meals up here in my room. I'm bringing up cheese balls, hot Cheetos, ice cream, buttermilk shrimp, cheeseburgers, whatever I want. You know, I'm bringing it up here. I'm eating them as I'm watching my shows, or when I'm just watching YouTube videos or whatever. But because of that, I still have this bowl full, and I do mean full, of lollipops. And when we were using this cotton candy machine, you know, that's what we're using to make cotton candy out of. And it tasted really good too, with and without the powdered sugar. But the powdered sugar, the whole purpose of that for the cotton candy maker is so the cotton would actually come out more fluffier. Because when you don't use the powdered sugar, it ends up being stringy. It's really stringy. It will still come out looking like cotton, but it'll just come out stringy. But, you know, you add that powdered sugar in, and it comes out looking fluffy, like, you know, the same kind of cotton candy you would see, you know, out in the fair. Shoot. And the kind of, like, the flavor combinations we would use for the cotton candy. Like, we even use my favorite flavor, cream soda, with, I think it was, unironically, the cotton candy flavored a lollipop. You know, we combined those two flavors. It tasted spectacular. Oh my god! And this gave me another idea. Shoot, what if we added lollipops and hot Cheetos? Like, we get like the hot Cheetos dust. I mean, you would have to really grind each Cheeto into literal smithereens, you know, to use in the cotton candy maker. But damn, imagine spicy cotton candy. Shoot, sweet and spicy cotton candy. I mean, that's what I really like about spicy stuff. Like, I am a big fan of spicy food. As a matter of fact, my favorite fruit is a jalapeno. Like, yeah, jalapenos are my favorite fruit. And I absolutely must have jalapenos on my pizza, on my burgers, or anything that can have jalapenos. Shoot, put them on there. I love them. They give you that freaking kick. Of course, spicy food isn't for everyone, but damn, I am a big fan of spicy food. And my mouth is actually watering right now just thinking about jalapenos. Although, funny thing, I will not eat jalapenos by themselves. I mean, unless like they're freshly grown off of someone's front yard or something, of which they taste really good because, I mean, it's entirely natural. But hell, like, other than that, you know, I won't eat a jalapeno by itself. It always must be with something. Reason why is because once I start eating jalapenos by themselves, I'm gonna want to keep eating them. You know, and you know, that eventually hurts my stomach because, well, I mean, naturally, when you put a lot of spicy stuff in your stomach, it really starts hurting. But I mean, shoot. Aside from that, I love spicy stuff, and especially when they come out with like freaking the sweet and spicy bacon burger and water burger, or whenever they come with when they come up with habanero barbecue almonds. God, that is so good. And or just flaming hot Cheetos, man. Like, that's the OG for me. It is delicious. I love it. And now, what if we made flaming hot cotton candy? Man, I really would want to put that in a video. Shoot. Okay, so last minute of the podcast. Let me wrap up my thoughts here. Shoot. So, actually, on top of the whole spicy cotton candy idea, I'm now thinking, looking at my ice cream, what if they made spicy ice cream? Actually, they did make it, and I ate it. It's pretty good. It's really good. I forgot what it was called, but it was literally called some along the lines of spicy ice cream. It tasted good. It was just regular chocolate ice cream, except it had a little kick with every bite. Anyways, that wraps up the whole spicy bit of my podcast. Anyways, thank you for watching my Thank you for listening to my podcast. Thank you for making it all the way this far. I really don't care, who's watching this or how many people are watching this. But if you enjoyed it, thanks. Go ahead and just leave a follow. This is your boy Asiago from 3M Thoughts signing off. Good night.